The Gallagher Shots podcast is sponsored by Tyre Spot, the North East's leading tyre supplier with branches across the region. Tyre Spot don't just do tyres, they cover everything from servicing to wheel alignment. They can handle every aspect of your car's maintenance. For more information, visit tyrespot.co.uk. Enjoy the episode.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the Gallagher Shots YouTube channel and podcast. On the back of a mega win against Benfica, this is your match preview for Fulham. Not quite as exciting, but seemingly a harder game for some reason with the way the Champions League and the Premier League's going. It's a Saturday 3 o'clock, proper old-fashioned game. Haven't seen one of them for a while. I'm Andy, I'm your host. I'm joined by Dean and Dazmo. How are we both doing?
Canny?
Good.
Recovering from a hangover from yesterday, from the Champions League game. You know what I mean? But I'm nearly there.
How many times have we watched Nick Voltemada's flick?
Too many times.
Too many. Yeah, too many.
It's become an obsession now. I think I love Nick Watermore more than my own wife. If I'm completely honest with you.
I think I'll be honest. I think it's level with Nick's flick and Pope's throw. To be honest.
Oh God!
Oh, honestly. Well, this isn't the match reaction.
Sorry.
Recording and will be out. But it's hard not to keep reacting because, I mean, it's great. But attention turns back to the Premier League. We're obviously being very, very streaky, very up and down. We find ourselves in the kind of lower doldrums of the league. It feels like all-time sake being down there. Fulham just a point behind us. They've lost the last three. They're having a very sort of typical Fulham season, not really impressing on much, but it's one of those teams that we struggle with. General feelings going into this one. I'll start with you, Daryl.
Well, given the wave of momentum that we created last night against Benfica, I've got to go into this thinking quite positively. I think Fulham have lost both of their last two away games 3-1. So their away form, as you mentioned, is not the best. And I think one thing that we got right, going back to last night, was the squad rotation in the middle of the park. Miley had a very mature performance for a lad of his age in that position, in that kind of game. And that was very positive to see. But I think some more rotation will come back into it, certainly in the middle. But it fills me with hope because we really played some really good stuff last night. And it just builds for Saturday. And it's one of them things, it happens all the time. Look at what happened when we beat Union. And then we went in to play Forest on that weekend after, and we beat them as well. And it's just, it builds everybody's hopes up and everybody gets in a good frame of mind, a good mood going into the next game.
Yeah, and Dean, same for you. How are you feeling about things generally at the minute?
I mean, I couldn't agree more, really. I think for me, if these can't get up for this game on Saturday after that performance, I don't know what's going on here. Because I'm not being funny. After that, they should go into Fulham thinking, we can absolutely batter these because that performance was phenomenal. And I just want to shout out again. I'm going to keep saying this in every preview. Jacob Murphy has to start every single game. I'm sick of saying it. The man's a colossus. They're thinking, I can't believe a couple of years ago, he was on loan to Sheffield Wednesday. Rafa Benitez got nothing to do with him, you know what I mean? But now, in my opinion, he's undroppable. He's so
we thought
good.
We signed the wrong twin, didn't we? When we
Yeah. He's unbelievable, man. I think for me, just the whole squad yesterday, like I say, I'm very positive about Fulham. I shouldn't be. I was positive about Brighton, but I feel like I am positive about the Fulham game. I think we can go and get a result and dominate as well.
Well, you've been looking into Fulham a little bit.
Yes.
What have you made of them? How are they doing?
I mean, to be honest with you, they haven't really gone out top goal scorer at the minute. I mean, it's like a couple of the teams picking up goals here and there. I think for me, what we will struggle with in terms of Fulham is Smith Rowe as that 10 role. I think every time we come across a 10, we always struggle. Look at, was it Rutter for Brighton last week? He was split us in two against Brighton, you know what I mean? I think every time you've got a decent 10 in a team, they always seem to find the pockets of space for us. So I think Smith Rowe's we want to watch. Also as well, Raul Jimenez is always a dick when he plays against us. It's every single time he plays against Newcastle, he's always doing something dodgy. So I think he's one to watch as well. But again, and also, well, if Dan Burn's playing left back as well, I guarantee you now, Traore is playing. I guarantee, because Traore will have him on toast. I love Dan Burn. I think he had a great performance yesterday, but Traore will be absolutely have him on toast if he plays against them. So they're the three I would watch. They're my three watch. But they have got a lot of injuries as well, though. So maybe we'll be all right. But I say they have got quite a good outlet in the front.
Yeah, I think Traore, I don't know if he still puts baby oil on his arms, but
100%.
100%. Yeah, he used to always do that. And it was Jimenez, wasn't it, who he scored for Wolves and then did some kind of pirate celebration and then it got ruled out. I seem to remember that.
Yeah, because he also got a red card against us at Fulham because I can't remember who he was. He did something. I think it was a high kick on one. I think it was Elliot Anderson or someone. Well, won that game. It was a couple of years ago now, but he got sent off for Fulham for doing like a high leg. So hopefully he does it again and they've got on 10 men again.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, Daryl, any concerns about Fulham yourself? I haven't seen much of them. I don't know if you have.
No, haven't seen that much of them. Like I say, I only know looking into it that they lost their last 2 games away from home 3-1 and they had a defeat against Arsenal last week. Just going on what we know of them from last season, because I can't think they've actually made that many new signings over the summer. They can be quite a dangerous team on the day, but that day doesn't really come around very often. They've caused us problems certainly at times, but it was mentioned there about Traore and that he's probably going to be the big threat against Dan Burn on that side of the pitch. I've got to hope that Dan Burn's cutting out the balls to him in the air is going to be the thing that rescues the game for him on that side. But I think they're a very hit and miss side, and it depends which one of them turns up. But to be honest, if the right Newcastle turns up, there shouldn't be a contest about it.
Yeah, Burn, who I saw that he has won more headers and lost more headers than anyone else in the league. It's just the most ridiculous stat. And yeah, the Benfica game, we saw they were really targeting, trying to get in behind him. There was that number 11 for Benfica who looked dangerous. And then Burn seemed to just go further forward as a counter to that and just started winning all the headers. So yeah, definitely an interesting one. Dean, you've obviously you've said your piece already about Murphy. But in terms of the lineup, do you think there's anything else we should be doing differently, or do you think just keep the team that's done so well?
Do you know what is right? I think for me, definitely I think we just start Jacob Ramsey again. If I'm completely honest with you, listen, I think Joe Litton's carrying an injury. He has to be, because I love Joe Litton. I'm his biggest fan. I generally think when he plays and he's top of his game, he's unplayable. He's phenomenal. But at the minute, I think he's carrying something because he can't make a pass. He's not really getting. He's out getting outpaced a lot. He hasn't got that pace anymore in his game. So for me, after watching Ramsey last night, I'd start Ramsey. I think Ramsey yesterday is showing why we're signing for. He's getting up and down the pitch, defending well, getting forward. So for me, that's another change I'd make in the side. I'd definitely start Jacob Ramsey in the centre of the park. Have to do it because he was phenomenal yesterday.
Do you agree with that, Daryl? I think Ramsey, he wasn't really in the game that much, but what we did see of him, he looked pretty good.
Yeah, and I think the one thing we noticed when Joe Linton came on last night was that he came on at the perfect time and he just did his stuff and he was breaking things down and stopping Benfica in their tracks when they were trying to get something back out of the game. And he linked up well with the lads around him when he came on. But I would agree. I think I would start Ramsey. And I think, I praised Lewis Miley to the hill earlier, but I think for me, it's probably Sandro will probably come back in. But again, this is Eddie Howe, and he likes to play a team that's done well. He sticks with the lads when they've got him a result. So it's hard to tell. But I think that would be another change that I would consider would be Sandro back in the middle.
Yep.
Yeah, and this goes out to both of you, really, just in general in terms of rotation. Obviously, we're seeing we could be in a position soon where we can start rotating in the Champions League the way we've started it. We've obviously got Spurs in the Cup coming up next week. I'll stay with you, Daryl. Where do you think we can really get some, where do you think we can recharge the batteries in the team in terms of rotation? Because obviously fullback was struggling. Tonali, we might not have rested him if it wasn't for his illness. So is this the time to maybe start doing that? Or do you think we need to just go fully 100%, get the wins in?
So when it comes to rotation, I think Sandro in the middle of the park is probably going to be another option as well. Ramsey, I would start him. Joe Linton did a great job when he came on. And I think you're talking about going into the next few games. I think we have to be considering rotation because we can't do what we did a couple of years ago and try and go for everything with the same squad because it will break us completely. And I think maybe we will see something in the game against Spurs. I think we probably will see some changes there. We've been lucky. And I think if we get ourselves into a stronger position in the Champions League, then we can consider that in the run-up to Christmas. But for me, it would be the Spurs one where we would see some big changes. I think you'll probably see Pope rested in that one, looking ahead. And maybe there's a couple of others as well. Got Fabian Schär sitting on the bench, wondering what's happened to his place after Malik Chow turned into Prime Cafu or whatever in the back, playing worldies. And him and Sven Botman have got a great partnership going on. So, yeah, I think the scope's there. And isn't it a nice situation to have, though, that we're now talking about who the hell can we play? Because
it's lush.
So many good options at the minute. It's great, isn't it?
Seeing Tonali on the bench is amazing.
It is it's class.
Yeah, it's mint. And obviously, you think about players coming back as well. And we're going to have more rotation options. Obviously, we know Livermore and Hall are knackered. Wissa's coming back soon. Dean, just on the same sort of point, really, in terms of rotation. Do you think that team against Benfica minus Tonali, that is our best 11?
I would say so currently. But for me, I can see the right back position getting changed in this game only because I think Trippier's running on fumes now, and we've got to manage his minutes because we've got. Listen, he's 35 years old now. You know what I mean? We've got to manage his minutes, so I think he might see Kraft come in. I generally think I wouldn't be surprised if Kraft plays on Saturday only because Trippier's been played that much, or you see Alanga or Murphy. So Murphy go right back and have Alanga as right wing, just because I think because, like I say, Trippier will have to manage his minutes. Because my biggest worry is now because Trippier has been such a key to that back four. Now, if he gets injured, we're knackered completely. So if we lose two right backs, we are absolutely knackered.
Yeah, and I think we're seeing with Trippier now. I made this comment watching the Benfica game. He isn't the player he was even just 2 years ago. I think it was obviously last season he made a couple of mistakes, and then we're just seeing now when he gets the ball, he doesn't have a lot of confidence to carry it forward. He's looking always just to pass it, and he doesn't really make those overlaps anymore. I mean, there was that one at Benfica where he was through on goal and he tried to lay it off to his winger, and everyone was like, no one would have begrudged you, Trippier, if you just smacked it and sliced it over the bar. Like, it's just one of those things. But yeah,
it's not it might be confidence. It might be confidence, though. It might be scared.
I think it is.
Get injured. I genuinely think he's just terrified to get injured. If I'm honest, that's why he's pushing back a bit. So I think he's terrified in case he pulls something. You know what I mean? So I think that's why he's just going for the simpler option rather than going full pelt.
No, I agree, and he hasn't got someone like Almiron with him now, who obviously used to do 90% of his running for him.
The headless chicken.
Yeah, but we love him.
Oh, yeah,
although I think Atlanta have just had an absolute stinker of a season based on his Instagram post. But I'm minded to agree. I think the team will stay largely the same. We've got good options coming in and around the squad now. It'll be interesting to see with Wissa coming back whether he gets sort of brought into these sort of the cup games and the sort of smaller Premier League games rather than the big games. But I mean, the lad clearly wants to play in the Champions League, which is why he's come. So it'll be interesting. And I do think we might see formation changes as well with maybe Big Nick as a number 10. But I digress. Anyway, enough about boring players and managers, Daryl. The referee. Give us some ref watch.
Okay, so referee for the game will be Tony Harrington. So it's his first Newcastle game of the season, and this is for the Hartlepool native, of course. It's his fifth Premier League game of the season, and he's had 2 VAR appointments. We last saw Tony Harrington when he refereed our last home game of last season, which we probably shouldn't really talk about because we got beaten. But yeah, so that's the referee. The VAR for the game will be Peter Banks, who we've previously seen refereeing the games against Leeds away, and also very recently when we beat Forest 2-0 at St James's.
Nice.
Very good. And I will say the referee at Benfica was obviously the PSG chap. He had a couple of horror shows as well.
I swear to God, I'm telling you now, the amount of times that I stood up and brayed out that it was Paris all over again. I haven't got enough digits on my body to tell you how many times I did that because of some of the decisions. I'm telling you. The two, bearing in mind, I haven't seen the back, so they probably were right decisions, but at the time, the 2 penalty calls that were happening.
Bruno's was a penalty.
Yeah,
Dazmo, that off the charts, mate. I was off the charts.
Dazmo, that was definitely a penalty that like everyone was screaming. Everyone, like, tell you that was definitely. He got dragged down. Ridiculous.
Well, his mate in VAR didn't help me, either, did he?
No.
Same bloody corrupt bugger that he is.
God, Dazmo, calm down.
Go on, Dazmo, lad, come on.
Ref Watch is meant to be a nice, calm, feature.
Come on, Dazmo.
It is. We're just talking about last night's referees, man.
There was that, but there was also the Benfica players in the first half. There was that lad who was down injured for about 10 minutes, and he was waving the physio on, and the physio was just refusing to come on. It was, but anyway. So Tony Harrington, I'm sure, will be back to saying how terrible the Premier League refs are compared to UEFA. It's funny. It's a weird thing that we didn't really think about getting back into Europe, that you have the different standards of refereeing in terms of what's a foul and what's not. It's really weird. But anyway, before we get onto a prediction, because I know that's the good stuff everyone wants, I've done a little quiz. People watching may have seen that we did some little quiz videos separately, but we figured why sort of be greedy and do it over 2 videos? We'll just stick it in the preview. So it's Fulham based. with obviously Newcastle stuff in it as well.
Right.
You two have both got my number. So what I'm going to do is ask a question and ask you to reply to me in like 5 seconds, because otherwise the video is going to go on forever. So
I can't do that, man. Otherwise, I'll have to disappear off the screen, man.
And I'm the same. We
on.
can't do that. Why do we do it?
Come on.
Can we do the thumbs up? Oh no, can't. I don't even think of a buzzer.
Well, I'll tell you what then. It doesn't necessarily have to be a competition. If I'll see who raises the hand first, and I'll come to you.
Right.
Okay.
But one of them is like a or B answer. But anyway, so
Right.
you can see how well we've organised this quiz. But I think it'll be fun. It'll be fun for the viewers anyway, because I think they're quite good questions.
Yeah.
And we took everyone's feedback on board, and we haven't used AI. I've used my working day to write some questions. So anyway, the first one is, you may remember when we played Fulham in the Championship and we lost the first game of the season, and we had that welcome to the Championship. I think that's why I despise Fulham. I haven't really gone into that, but they're really amazing. But we played them away and lost 1-0. Then we played them at home and lost 3-1. The question is, who scored Newcastle's goal in that game?
Oh, he's straight in. Go on.
Daryl Murphy, because I should have started, and I was annoyed didn't start.
God, he's right. I thought that was a hard question. I mean,
Yes,
you've give the viewers no time at all to put their own answers in, but that's fine. But no, it is Daryl Murphy. I was almost going to give a clue and say it's not Dwight Gale, because that would have been my guess immediately.
Yeah.
But yes, Daryl Murphy, scorer of a great goal scorer rather than a scorer of great goals, as they say. Second question. Who is Fulham's all-time top scorer in the Premier League? Dazmo.
Clint Dempsey.
It is Clint Dempsey. God,
Well
I
done.
thought these were quite tricky.
Well done,
But
Dazmo.
he's straight in. R.I.P. to Pizza Hut. Great shirt. Yes, Clint Dempsey with 50. I think Mitrovic is on something like, he was on like 46 or something like that. He didn't quite get over the record, but
Took the money, man.
Yeah,
You took
Clint
the money.
Dempsey.
Right.
Yeah, well, he's left Al Nasser now, hasn't he? He's gone to some other Saudi club now. Right, it's 1-1. I had a tie break, but this is technically a deciding question. But I'll give you the tie break as well after. It's fun. Right, 2 players that's played for both clubs, Alexander Mitrovic and Damien Duff. Who has played more times for Newcastle? Dean?
I'm going to say Alexander Mitrovic.
Daryl? I may as well both let you have an answer, since it's a one or the other.
Straight up.
What do you reckon?
I'm going to say Mitrovic as well.
Well, it's good news, because it means I get to use my tie break, because you're both wrong.
Oh,
Damien
really?
Duff.
Well, I'm surprised by that.
Yes.
Alexander.
Hey, by the way, I'm going to have to pick you up on this, mate, because Dan Burn played for Fulham as well, remember? Big Dan.
It wasn't the only 2 players to ever play for the team. It was just
right.
2 players
Sorry,
that happened
that's
to
me
both play
mishearing
for
the
us.
question. I do apologise.
No, that's all
Fair
right.
enough.
Dan Byrne was an absolute
Okay.
Ben when he played for them, wasn't he?
He was I.
It was like he still had his long hair.
But for the ones who are interested, Alexander Mitrovic,
Right.
65 appearances, Damien Duff 69. So it was close.
Wow, I'm surprised by that. Really, I'm shocked. Because Damien Duff was only here 2 seasons, wasn't he? Was it 2 seasons? Was
Oh.
it?
Yeah, it
Wow.
just feels like he wasn't here long at all. Yeah, but there you go. So tie break, and this is not going to be as easy, but you can't message me. So what I will do is I will ask whoever puts the hand up first for an answer, and then the other one can go higher or lower and give their own answer as well. But we'll do
Okay.
Price is Right rules, so you
Okay.
can't go over.
Okay.
You can only go under.
Right.
So tie break question is, what is the exact capacity of Craven Cottage according to Flash Scores? Now, bear in mind they've just had a stadium expansion as well.
I'll have a guess.
Okay.
I'm going to say 35,000.
Okay. Daryl?
35,500.
I'm with Dazmo.
It's not actually the Price is Right. You don't have to do it like that.
That's fine. I'll still do it. 35,500. My guess.
Well, I'm going to have to say it's not Price is Right rules, because you're both over. So,
Oh, really?
yeah, it's 29,589.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
So
Well,
I'm scrapping my own rules. Dean wins the quiz. Congrats. There you go.
But yeah. Thank you.
But I will say, when you do go to Craven Cottage, it is very flat. There's not much
It is.
incline to it at all. Yeah. And
Yeah.
obviously, half of the stadium's taken up with hot tubs and spas and stuff. So
Amazing.
That
Amazing.
that temporary stand that we use for the away end is proper rickety. Like when you're in there, like it's so metally and so tinny when you're in there, and you can batter anything, it'll make a noise.
Well, I was down
crazy.
in the bottom, so it wasn't too bad when I was in there. But I can imagine further up, it's not great.
It can't be as bad as the Luton one, Dazmo. The Luton ground's terrifying. Have you been to the Luton ground?
No, I haven't been.
You walk through a housing estate, man. You don't know where you are. And then you walk these rickety stairs. Honestly, I generally thought I was going to like collapse, put some point or fall down a hole. No disrespect to Luton, like, but it was terrifying.
You walk through a Domino's, don't you? Like,
yeah. Don't get wrong.
Yeah.
It was a great away day. Like, I mean, even though it got beat, but like, still, it was terrifying going up them stairs.
No, I wish I could have gone. Fulham's a weird one. If anyone watching's ever been to Fulham, you obviously have the mixed away end and home end. There's no segregation at all, so you kind of walk into the away end and there's loads of Fulham shirts. Yeah, it's really strange. But I did manage to get £1 a pint in Fulham, which I couldn't believe considering it's in the poshest part of London you could ever think.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Dean wins the quiz. Congrats. Blah blah blah.
Well done, Dean.
So predictions then. Before we get on the predictions, I'm really upset at myself because I've been looking at it the whole time and I haven't found a chance to use it. So I'm just gonna use it. How do we think we're gonna get on against
Fulham? Fulham.
I was just saying to the lads before we came on as well, to those watching and listening, one of the questions was going to be, what's the name of the manager in goal? Because, but then I realised that's far too hard because no one knew any of the characters' names. I don't think anyone knows anyone apart from Santiago and Gavin Harris.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. Which definitely isn't meant to be Craig Bellamy. But anyway, we move on. I'll start with you, Daryl. Prediction.
Yeah.
How do you think we're going to get on?
Well, given that I was talking before about how they've lost the last 2 away games 3-1, I think I'm going to go for a hat-trick of 3-1 defeats for Fulham on the road. I'll say Newcastle 3, Fulham 1. A goal for them from Raul Jimenez, and goals for us from Big V, Anthony Gordon, and you know what it is? I fancy Malik Chow to get off the mark. Like, it's about time.
He's come close a couple of times, hasn't he?
He has.
Dino.
Right, I'm going to be overly positive here, so I apologise if I'm incorrect. But I reckon because we're on a good run of form now, and I'm hoping we take the momentum from Tuesday into this game, I think we're going to win 4-0. And I'm going to say Nick Watamara twice on a brace, and then Anthony Gordon with the other two. They're my 4 goal scorers for the game. I think they're both going to be on a brace. Because I think the way they're linking up now, I think, there could be goals in this game. And I think with Big Nick, because he's getting like, you've seen that he's been a bit of a shithouse. So I think now is the time.
Yeah. He's definitely had that shithousery coached into him, hasn't he? I can see that. So, yeah.
But I might be naive, like 4-0. 4-0.
No, I'll take it. I mean, I'm not actually going to this one. I'm letting my little 8-year-old nephew go. It's a split family because his dad supports Ipswich and his mum, my sister, supports Newcastle, obviously. And we're trying to win him back over because he's very much an Ipswich fan. So if we could bring it to St James's Park a couple of times and get some wins. He's only been to the Cellar Cup, so this will be his first proper game, I think. So
amazing.
A 4-0 win would be great. He needs cheering up because he was in the away end for Ipswich Middlesbrough when they missed the penalty. And
God, horrendous.
Poor lad needs cheering up, so we'll take that. I'm going to go slightly more pessimistic than the two of you. I think it's going to be a tight win. I don't think we're necessarily going to blow them away. I think it'll be similar to the Brighton game. I said on the live we did with Roger that I think it'll be 1-1 going into the sort of later part of the second half, and then it'll go either way. But then I think we'll just turn it on at the end and we'll get the goal. So I'm going to say 2-1. Right. I'm going to say we come from behind, and it's going to be a Nick Voltamada penalty. Won by Alanga, and then we will be coming straight back on here to rub it in Dean's face because it wasn't Murphy. But even though I agree with you completely, it should be Murphy because he's mint, isn't he? But
he's unreal, man. Generally, I don't know what's happened to that kid, but Eddie Howar's made him into a baller. He's unbelievable.
Yeah, genuinely, and it almost like justifies. It's not a takeover signing. There was obviously so many of them. It's all about Joe Linton and how much he's come on, but players like Murphy as well. I mean, he must. I mean, obviously, your life's amazing as a footballer anyway, but he must sometimes think like, bloody hell, what would it have been like if Eddie Howe didn't come in? He could have been in the Championship.
Yeah, he could have
been at Sunderland. He could have been anywhere.
Do you know? No, honestly,
mate-
I'm gonna sound. Sorry, go on, Dazmo.
What? Just before you come in, I will say, if we lose, mind, the worst case scenario, your nephew's not allowed back, mind.
That's fine. It's my season ticket. I'm only allowed to transfer it a few times. So, but no, Dean, what were you going to say?
I was going to say I might sound cracked when I say this, but I think Jacob Irvine deserves an England call up. I do. Even if they're friendly, just put him in the England squad. What issue have we got? Like, I'm not be funny. Like, in my opinion, he's done enough for me to get in the England squad because how many assists he got last year. He's getting assists now, man. He hasn't got Isaac anymore. He's still doing it on a regular basis. Give the kid a call up. What's the worst that can happen?
I think he's just unlucky, isn't he? That the right hand side for England is so much stronger than the left hand side with Saka.
Yeah,
and players like Bowen who can go in there as well. So yeah, and I mean he's a very unique sort of player. He's a proper like Brexit winger. He just goes on his strong foot and crosses it in. He doesn't do any of this stupid cutting inside. And well, he just cut inside to be fair, with his weak foot, but he just puts the ball in the box. And it's something different. If England are struggling, if you just want to hoy the ball into Kane and
exactly
you take Ivan Toney or someone, something different, isn't it?
I'll tell you now, when it works and Harry Kane's putting the balls in the back of the net, people are going to say Murphy's the second coming of Beckham. You know what I mean? So just like I say, take the lad.
No, Beckham was the first coming of Murphy. Let's be honest. But no, I agree. I think we touched on it a bit. I think we're all in agreement that we're due a win in the Premier League. We really need to get going in the league. You've got to think that they'll take the confidence from Benfica into this. But we said this before. I think we're obviously a bit unlucky that we got a bit of momentum and then the international break came in. And obviously the way we are now, everyone goes all over the place and comes back. And we see, especially with like the South Americans, they come back absolutely shattered. So I do think it'll be tight and we'll get the win. But happy to have some positivity on one of these pods, to be honest, especially when I host. I'm normally bringing it down and everyone's just miserable by the end. So I'm happy. So yes,
you record the right time, mate. You record the right time. That's why. Because if you didn't do it after the Benfica game, it would have been very negative. I think you've done the right time. We're all on the high, so you did it right time, pal.
No, this is it. We're so fickle, aren't we? All of us. It's a disgrace.
we are like
absolutely.
But yes, that'll do us. Thank you two gents for joining us, and thanks for your positivity. It's been lovely, and thanks for your anger, Daryl, at Ref Watch. That's the first time I've seen that from you. So thanks.
Dazmo, bring that back every week. Every week, mate. Bring it back every week, mate. Scream at the camera. I love the passion. You were going crackers. I loved it.
I'm ready for the fan edits of Dazmo as the Hulk. But anyway, we digress massively. Amazing. So I am going to end this. Thank you two for joining me. Thank you all for watching and listening. We've got loads of stuff going out. Hopefully the reaction for this is still positive. If we lose, just don't bother watching the reaction because you'll just feel even worse. No, do watch it because we're very reasonable fans and we do try and keep it positive. But thanks for watching. Got loads of stuff coming out. Make sure you like and subscribe, do all that good stuff. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.